I know that's a lot to take in, but fear not, because there's something good about this. Attachment styles are not rigid, they're not set in stone. Again, like I said, most of these things do not say this is who you are forever and ever. Amen. Just because you display characteristics of one attachment style doesn't mean that that's the characteristic you'll always have. There are lots of people who grow up with secure attachment styles, and because of different factors along the way, they end up having or developing an insecure attachment style. You can have a child who is with their parents and has a very secure attachment style, and then as fate would have it, the child loses their parents, and then they develop dismissive avoidant attachment styles. So, and that's just an example. There are very many other reasons why, at any one point in our lives, our attachment styles may change. You can also have a child who can grow up with an insecure attachment style, and then eventually they're able to be in an environment that allows them to develop a secure attachment style. These attachment styles are usually defined within the child development stages, but as they grow up, what they developed in their development stages is what manifests in their day-to-day relationships with their partners, with their colleagues, with their workmates. Now, this is the scary thing about attachment style, but it shouldn't scare you so much because now I'm able to tell you about it. What happens is attachment styles attract each other. And what do I mean? Secure attachment styles attract each other most of the times, and they are very compatible because they're all, secure and independent, and so they're able to have very healthy relationships. And then insecure attachment styles also attract each other. I know it's crazy and it's unfair, by the way. Like, why? But that's how it is. And so this is the only time when like poles attract and unlike poles attract. So yes, even the insecure attachment styles attract each other. And so what happens is now you have secure attachment styles attracting each other and having healthy relationships. And then you have the insecure attachment styles attracting each other and having unhealthy, toxic relationships. And it's not just enough that they attract each other. The anxious preoccupied tend to attract the dismissive avoidance or the fearful avoidance, the disorganized type, and vice versa. Why? Because the anxious preoccupied wants love. They want to be loved so much. They want to be validated. They want to be loved. They want to be approved. They have fear of rejection. And then you have the dismissive avoidant who doesn't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know. They push people away. And so all their needs are being met one way or the other. Yeah, so that's the other thing. If you've ever been there wondering, how come I keep attracting the same kind of partner? I think it's high time that you actually consider finding out what your attachment style is and working on it. Now, I have good news. There's a test. In case you don't know what your attachment style is, there's a test online. You can do a free test online and find out what your attachment style is. And if you find out that you have a secure attachment style, wonderful. Then you have a good place to start and try to help those around you to actually have more secure attachment styles. And then if you find that you have an insecure attachment style, even more wonderful, because now you have a chance to work on yourself and develop a very secure attachment style. But also, you're able to now understand why you're attracting the people that you're attracting and what needs were not met while you were a child that could now start to be met by yourself through therapy, through help, through self awareness, and eventually you will stop attracting unhealthy relationships or toxic partners because your needs as a child were not met by your attachment figure. So, attachment theory is such a wonderful, wonderful self awareness tool. All you need to do is find out what your attachment style is and how you can work on it to be able to attract exactly what you desire. Yeah. Now, time for a little story before I close. Many people know that I have this sister of mine that I love so much. In fact, at some point I thought we were twins. We're almost like twins. She's called Belinda. But Belinda is just 1 year younger than me. My mom conceived her when I was 3 months old. So that's how they conceived my sister when I was 3 months old. Friends, I was still a baby, yeah. But then when Belinda came, now I was no longer a baby. Now there was another baby. Now there was attention for this baby, and now all of a sudden, all the attention is on the other baby. And for me, as I was journaling, these memories came back to me, and this information is downloading, and I realized this is how I developed an anxious, preoccupied attachment style. And so I was constantly confused, like, oh, do they love me? Do they not? Now I want validation. Now I want attention. Now I'm also like fighting for this space that this new baby has come and taken over. That's why I keep telling people, guys, like, give your children space, space your kids, because you are literally creating an attachment style for a child who is not being spaced, because now they think they have a problem, and that's why you replace them. Because these are kids, we are young. At that point, you're like a young child. Your mind is not processing things as an adult. And so you're thinking, was I not good enough for this person? And a lot of times now you have a child who has self-worth issues, like they're now questioning a lot of things. So eventually, of course, as you grow up, you start realizing, oh, maybe that's not the case, and things like that. But I could see how it affected me um, as I became an adult, because now I'm dealing with like challenges with my self worth, but I also need a lot of validation, a lot of approval, a lot of then my fear of rejection was crazy high. And then I discovered attachment theory, and I started understanding, oh my God, this is how you attract a very toxic, narcissistic person, because now you're attracting a dismissive, avoidant who is familiar to what you grew up with, which was anxious, preoccupied. And I remember doing that test in 2018. Hmm. I remember doing that test, and the results were exactly that. And I was like, wow, I am going to do the work, and I'm going to make sure that I fix or work on whatever issues that develop from that attachment style. I even called my mom. I remember calling my mom and I'm crying. I'm like, Mommy, what do you remember this? Do you know how this affected this and this? And then we're talking, and my mom's like, I don't even understand why you're going back into your childhood. Other people are moving forward into the future. You're going back to the childhood. I'm like, yeah, mommy, because I realized that everything starts from your childhood. You can't just say you're going to the future without knowing what the past was like. You need to understand your past so that you move forward to the future. But I'm here to tell you that I can testify that right now, ever since I discovered that that was the attachment style I had, which was insecure, and it was making me attract a certain kind of relationship, I worked on it. And after that, every test that I did from 2019 moving forward, every test that I did comes back showing that I have a secure attachment style. So for me, I believe that this will work for you. I know it works. You just need to be very aware of the attachment style that you have. Also, to be aware that these attachment styles change based on different, things, different factors. So it's good to constantly check in and say, okay, how is my attachment style doing? Well, how am I doing in terms of like how I'm relating to people? And so it's very possible for you to switch. For those who need even more support, please feel free to go for professional help like therapy. It will really help you to have a secure attachment style. This one was so long. Bye.